makes me nervous to start off everything. But I just want to say a few things about Larry. Larry and John are old friends. And they're kind of like the family that we never knew we had and we discovered. My oldest old friend, who's Gail from high school, there's Gail, knew them from the park, and when with the dog scene in the park, and when she found out that we were moving to Stone Ridge, she said, "Oh my God, my friends John and Larry live in Stone Ridge, of all places, and you have to meet them." So we had a blind date on that road right here, and it was love at first sight. To me, the essential Larry is, first of all, exuberance and gusto. I think at least once every couple of weeks, I'd say to Larry, "How was the concert?" And he'd say, "It was one of the most thrilling performances of my entire life." And he meant it. He meant it. And when Larry and John were in Spain, we got a phone call. It must have been, I think it was about 3 o'clock in the morning in Spain. And Larry and John had just eaten at Ibuli, and they just had to tell us, Larry had to tell us about the tasting menu. And he told me about these little balls of spun sugar that you popped in your mouth and you crunched them and they popped in your mouth. I mean, it was just amazing. But he was so excited he couldn't sleep. That was his exuberance, and he was exuberant about a lot of things. Also essential is his generosity. We basically, before we bought our apartment in the city, we pretty much lived at 70th Street. We just camped out in Bones' office upstairs and spent a lot of time there and decided we liked it so much that we wanted to get a place in the city. So they were always welcoming to us. When our grandnephews came out here from Idaho, Larry and John bought a little boat so the kids could go out on the pond and have fun on the pond. And they schlepped all the way to Seattle for our son's wedding, which really meant the world to us. Another essential Larryism is his honesty. I counted on Larry to give me an honest assessment, no matter what, no matter whether he thought I would like what he was telling me or not. And that was really important to me. I often sought his counsel. And essential Larry is interest and passion. He really listened to people. He wanted to know about people, and he wanted to learn new things, and he was passionate about music and food and dogs and the Yankees, and he really enjoyed life. And finally, his sense of humor, which especially his kind of pretend, fake dislike for people. I would come to his house with Darla, our dog, in the morning after I was in the park, and I'd get coffee there and sit around with them. And Larry would come down to the door. Every time he came to the door, he'd open it a little crack, and he'd pull Darla in and try to slam the door. Every time. And he just had a wonderful, wonderful sense of humor, and we just spent a lot of time hilarious together. And I miss that. Essential Larry to us was a quintessential friend and a dear family member. And we love him and miss him every day.
I am the other side of Alice. I'm Mike Haller. And we had the same experience of meeting wonderful people later in life that you never expect to make friends like that when you get older. And it was such a pleasure, and it continues to be a pleasure to know John. But the last time Larry was with us was 16 weeks ago, yesterday. And 8 weeks ago, yesterday, it was the summer solstice. So that means that the light now, where the sun is in the sky now, is almost exactly the same as it was the last time Larry was with us. And around that time I was working outside. I know John Nielsen does that a lot. But I was working outside, I was looking at the sun and thinking about the sun. And so when Larry left us, I wrote a little poem. And so this is for Larry. You left us April 26th. You left us in this spring of chilly nights, and then the heavy sun to bring up daffodils, and then back to chill at night. You left us. In this spring with blossoms big, and then fresh leaves blasting out of the branches, beating back the winter. You left us. You left us at the full moon. It lights us up at night. It was cold, white light in the night. It lights us up. But then there was that sunset moonrise, a fiery, red, real, full, sunlit moonrise. No cold, white, light moon, but that fiery, red, rising moon. You left us with that red, rising moon. You left us, all of us left, without you, at garden, at pond, at dogs, at music, at dinner, at life. But as you left us, then a bird, a little vireo, it hit our window. And then with you, he left us too. That little vireo is flying with you now. That little vireo is singing with you now. Always singing with you now. You left us, and we love you. And we are always singing with you now.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
You say I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name, but if I did, well really what's it to you? There's a blaze of light in every word. Doesn't matter, well, which one you heard, the holy or the